lose faith every time I see you now.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Makowski's Minute. Today we are talking about the last Cat Stevens record that I have in my collection, Foreigner. So let's get to it. The album was released July 25th, 1973. It's the 7th studio album by Cat. It was wrote and produced by Cat himself and recorded at Dynamic Studios in Kingston, Jamaica with engineer John Middleton. It'd be cool to record an album in Jamaica. I mean, that's where Island Records was too. They had a spot there and whatever, so he was recording kind of wherever he wanted, I guess, which would be pretty sweet. Except for all the strings, brass, and wood arrangements were recorded at Atlantic Studios in New York City. The album spent 43 weeks on the Billboard 200, peaking at number 3 on September 1st, 1973, and the song The Hurt hit the Billboard Hot 100 for about 9 weeks, peaking at number 31. The cover photo is by Mick Rock. The back cover photo is by Robert Friesen, or however you say that name. And the inside polar sketch is by Cat Stevens. Let's pull this baby out of there. So you got all the songs and the words, which really cool. You talk to somebody that grew up and with this album or bought it when it was new, and a lot of people will tell you when the words were in the album, it just made it that much better. You'd sit there and listen to it and go through all the words and know what he was saying. Really cool. But you turn it around and you have this little polar bear. Yeah. It's by Cat. So that's pretty cool. This album had Stevens going in a kind of just different direction at the time. He was listening to more like R&B stuff and a little bit of soul stuff and everything. And that's why he broke away kind of in a sense and produced and wrote this whole album himself to try to get a different sound going. And there's definitely elements of R&B in this album. You can hear it everywhere. It's really, really cool. It sounds like Cat, but it doesn't sound like Cat, if you know what I mean, The album was named because, like we said, he was trying to go in a different direction and just with his musically, so he felt it was a little different. Also, at the time, he was living in Brazil, so he was the foreigner. My favorite song on the album is the opening 18-minute long Foreigner Suite, just because it's really, really cool. It's got a bunch of changes in it. It switches up a lot. You can definitely hear that like R&B element in parts of it and stuff. And you can hear reflections of Cat's earlier work in it too. And the whole album is great, but just that whole first side is Foreigner Suite, and you just jam that, and it's really, really cool. I'd recommend putting this album on, or any Cat Stevens album on the road trip, man. Is get in the car, put on some Cat, and drive, baby. Just drive into the sunset, man, because that's how I always felt about Cat Stevens, dude. Just his voice, just the music that came around it. And just side note, I never knew until actually looking into it that he originally did the first cut is The Deepest. That pop hit or whatever. I guess it was 60s pop back then, but I just thought it was really cool. Going through these past couple albums of Cat Stevens really made me appreciate him more and respect him more. Like I said, him doing the art in the past couple albums and stuff too himself. Like, I just think that's really cool. So, to Cat Stevens, and that has been your Makowski's Minute. Thanks for joining me, guys. We'll see you next week.